there are 4 brand new guns coming to Way the Hunter with pretty considerable caliber variety. We've got a 270 Winchester, a 9.3x62, and 2 6.5 Creedmoors, including the Steyr Games, which is a new release by Steyr in real life that actually isn't even available yet in stores, is going to be available in Way the Hunter before it can actually be purchased in real life. And these guns did come with a little trailer, so we'll take a quick look at that now. So, a couple quick things to clarify. Number one, this has been confirmed to be a paid DLC by Michael over in the Way the Hunter Discord. Now, I couldn't find confirmation on the price. I was told in my stream chat on Friday that it was going to be $5, but I can't find that information listed anywhere. It does make sense to me. The map DLCs in Way the Hunter are $10, so half that price for a weapon DLC, I could totally see that being the case, but I can't say that's going to be it for certain. The other thing is, just in case you noticed it, the music over the trailer was not the same as what was on THQ Nordic's YouTube channel. That's only because one time, one of their trailers had like a copyright issue with music, and I figured it's probably not that important to have sound. None of the guns were actually fired in that trailer. So, let's talk about the guns a little bit. Obviously there's going to be a 270, that is the same caliber as what we just shot this Caribou with here, but this was a Remington 270. I imagine ballistically and performance-wise they're going to be the exact same, but I'm excited just to have more options at that tier 5 spot. Is that an aggressive bison? Speaking of tier 5 slots and what I was going to say, tier 6 slots, as I think he's just gonna run away after all that. He must have covered so much ground to get here. But anyway, I think we may finally have a new tier 6 weapon in that 9.3x62, and that I think would really help in just variety of loadouts. So the 9.3x62 is a round that's actually used a lot in Africa for some of their biggest game, Gensbuck, Eland, things like that. And that's the main reason that I'm really hoping we actually get to see it go to tier 6, because at the moment, basically, we're stuck with the 300s or the 338. So with that possibility, I think it just opens up a lot of potential future loadouts, and I think that's something that's been asked for a lot in Way the Hunter. For the most part, everybody kind of uses the same things one hunt after the next. I think we have charging elk now. This has been so interesting so far, but just to have more options, I think it's going to make it a whole lot more fun. That guy's not going to get away. I'm actually not so sure the first one didn't get away. I didn't see him go down, but we got a bonus one. A little side note, the last time we came to Aurora Shores, the point of the hunt was to see if we could get any charging behavior, and I think the only thing that happened was our melanistic moose charged us, and of course we couldn't shoot that. We've already had bison and elk charge us today, so of course when we're just here to talk about the brand new guns, we're going to get stuff like that, but the 9.3x62 is a potent round, and assuming they do put it into that tier, not only do we get multiple tier 5 weapons, we could finally have a new tier 6 weapon, which, I mean, minus the 700 long range, which is also a 300 Win Mag, like the Steyr SM12, it's going to be the first one since the game's release. And by the way, we did in fact get that first elk too, so pretty good deal. Something that I hope to be doing with the 9.3 not too far down the road. 422 yard shot. Actually was lung and artery. Not a bad deal. 29%, couple of pretty weak elk genetics up here. I did realize too, there was one other Remington tier 6 weapon. It was the 350, which frankly I kind of feel like performs like a tier 5, so I rarely consider it there. Either way, I don't think the 9.3 is going to end up being a weak gun, or weak compared to what we might expect. It should be pretty darn good. Now that's always encouraging. Got a 4-star mature Roosevelt elk down here, and a 1-star mature in front of that. And I want to show you one more thing in terms of where the 9.3 could be, just to kind of compare to the 700 long range. So this would be hitting with about 4,682 joules if you look in the top right. The 9.3 fires his most common projectile, a 286 grain bullet, around 4,700 joules. So we're in the same area as the 300, probably a touch more powerful. That's why I'm so excited for this gun. And finally, by the way, I do want to touch on the two 6.5s. I kind of understand why they're adding both variations. Obviously, the partnership with Steyr and the new Steyr games coming out is the reason for that. I actually don't mind it though. I just think, even though they're going to be the same ballistically, or at least you would imagine they will be, it just gives you something different to look at, something different to use here and there when you decide to cycle between 6.5s. I imagine both of those will be quite cool as well, and I'm curious ballistically if we see a flatter shooting round. Maybe that'll be really good for long range hunting. We kind of did that a little bit there on the elk earlier. I'd love to be able to shoot caribou, sitka deer, at least the animals on this map, and obviously deer on other maps as well, 600-700 yards away, and eventually maybe do that without using the hunter sense. Now, one of the reasons I wanted to come to Aurora Shores was just to kind of check in on our melanistic moose, and I was going to maybe try to get a little bit closer and use the camera mode, but we've sort of got this posturing behavior by this adult moose. He's super uneven, and frankly, he's not much bigger than our 1-star young melanistic, and I still think the Mela is a year old. I'm pretty sure we haven't passed an aging cycle, but if this guy's gonna walk this close, might as well take him with the 300. I honestly thought I saw the round go through and like hit the ground behind him. At that angle, that seems impossible, but I kind of think that's what happened. Not sure if we'll be able to tell from this or not. Went straight through the heart, kind of through the top of the heart by the looks of things. Had a lot of energy left, but it had to have stopped right about the back of the lungs. That was a 70%er? Man, I really have high hopes for that melanistic. Maybe, just maybe, although we've taken all of our significant rares with a bow or crossbow to this point, if the timing works out, that 9.3 may just be the weapon to go with. And if we're going to try to age that melanistic moose up to hopefully 5 stars one day, but at least to his maximum age, we're going to have to start finding some other stuff on this map to pay attention to. I think that's one of the toughest things with aging something, you know, like moose that goes up to 16 years. There's just a lot of time you got to spend on the maps. Did that work? Pretty sure we just headshot that caribou through the brush, but I'm hoping that, I don't even know how we just did that. I'm hoping that we can actually, you know, get onto maybe some other future 5 stars and just things to pay attention to. Because right now, other than, I think maybe a couple of moose, I'm not sure there's anything on this map that has really good potential. So luckily, despite going prone there by accident instead of setting our marker, still managed to find this guy, which I guess at some stage we tried it. It's a 190-yard shot. We lung shot him and didn't kill him with the 270. This has to be months ago. Once hit him with the 300 on the run. This is probably right after that. And then finally, a brain shot from the 270 at 181 yards brings him down months later. A 1-star mature and a 48%. Good to take that out. Probably attempted to do so a while back, but at least we got him. Man, I guess I was wrong. We have a 5-star mountain goat on our map right now. Legit, I was gonna shoot, I think this one? Yeah, 1-star mature. Just making sure everything over here is, you know, other things that we want to not worry about. And instead, there's a 5-star. We haven't shot a 5-star goat on this map in a while. We had 3 in like a week or something. 2 in one stream if I'm not mistaken. And then just nothing. So the question is, because of where he's standing, do we want to try to wait on this? Eventually he probably goes broadside, but it's also possible he just walks down over the hill and makes this a little bit tougher. Not exactly making life easy on us here. This is kind of that same angle that we had taken the shot on the caribou with, apparently some time ago. So they're all moving to the left. I thought he may kind of do that. And if we sink that right into the crease, that's going to drop him, and the caribou that I was kind of hoping may be up here actually stuck around. That's a good looking one. And more importantly, not super gray. He's a 3-star now. I think he may have a shot. Then we have a 1-star adult and a 1-star young there. So, not sure if maybe one of those are like uneven or anything. Not notably, the adult might be. We're gonna go for that and hope for the best. Since we're, in a position where we just shot a 5-star, maybe hurts a little bit less if that is a decent genetic potential one, but let's go take a look at our 5-star goat then. Maybe not our best trophy shot ever, but up there. Typically, anytime we get anything good, it ends up landing right in the brush. So that was darn near a heart shot. Trying to see exactly how that missed the heart. It looks like maybe it went between the artery and the heart there just barely. Either way, dropped him in his tracks. That's an 85%er. Which means obviously this was a 4-star mature probably for a while there. 466. We'll tax that. And that makes me think maybe that guy was up here and just one that maybe I had forgotten about. So glad we came up here looking for caribou. And speaking of caribou, that is uneven. I kind of thought he might have had more mass on his left side. Shot was double lung with a decent bit of cavity damage. 68%. This area does seem to have decent genetics. We get 4-stars up here fairly often. Haven't had a 5-star yet. But that 3-star definitely has a shot. I thought maybe the last second I saw something out there. Maybe not. So we'll go ahead and jump to another location. Looking pretty good, and always nice to get a 5-star down. So this may be our last stop. In all likelihood, not going to be our last kill. These gray wolves shouldn't hear this. And we still haven't gotten a trophy gray wolf off of Aurora Shores. I want to say we had a 4-star early on that died. And that's been it. We haven't had that many opportunities even. So maybe, if we can take that caribou down, I think that's going to be a good hit. It looked like it hit a little lower than we wanted. May have just started to stumble when he went over the hill. I'm not actually sure. But we'll try to skirt into range and get an idea what these wolves are. And it is not looking like it was worth rushing a shot. We had a 1-star mature, 2 1-star matures, and a bunch of 1-star youngs. Now they are seemingly kind of on their way out. So we'll try to do this fairly quickly. Gonna 0 for 328 because that last shot was low. That looks a little better. I can see the pink blood. And we'll probably do a regular marker for that so we don't get confused. He's going down. Still unsure on the caribou. So we knew we got the wolf. That was a double lung shot high in the lungs. Which kind of makes me question why that first shot went low. 31%. The caribou we definitely did not get. Now, I don't know if they'd have gone up over. There's the wolves. Which may help us in determining where the caribou went. We definitely need a follow-up shot on that. So alive and well down there, they did in fact go right over the hill. I can't believe that's only a 2-star. Definitely looks solid, but what we may do, just because the angle's a little bit weird and we saw this earlier with that one that we had shot a while back, we'll just use the 300. That's going to punch through to the lungs and maybe more. That is a lot of blood. And now I think we have our last kill. The only question is, where did that shot actually hit? It may have been spine. Can't quite tell just by looking at the blood. Yeah, that first shot was way low. Clipped the bottom of the lung. It was 274 yards. We were 0 for 220. We must have just aimed too low to begin with. Second shot, double lung didn't hit the spine. I guess just the pure energy of the bullet was enough to drop him and cause a blood spatter like that. Even that was 60%, so not terrible. But we do have a 5-star mountain goat to put back in the trophy lodge, so let's go and take a peek at that. And just kind of trying to get everything to look a little bit more complete in here. We still have a bunch of these old like 2-star caribou when we were struggling to get a 5-star. But now when we come up the stairs, we've got our 5-star goat, a 5-star Roosevelt, and just down there behind us is a 5-star moose. So making progress on this lodge, and as I mentioned, we could be here for a while trying to age that melanistic moose, and hopefully in the process, we can find more 5-stars. We have a lot of small game plaques in this lodge yet, lots to potentially do, and we'll see what we can get accomplished as we attempt to age that moose and hopefully one day take him with that 9.3. We'll see what happens there, but I'm really excited for those new weapons, and I want to know what you guys think about them as well. Feel free to leave your feedback in the comments below. And I think on that note, that's going to do it for this video. So as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.